Okay guys, welcome to your second video. This one involves a lot of area, perimeter, and actually that's it. Those type of formulas. And so I want to bring in the thing, one process that I will come back to again and again and again, and that is this. I want you to remember this. Formula, substitution, resolution. Copy it down and remember it. That's what you're going to do. Whenever you hit something that has a formula, seriously, if you can remember these 3 steps, you will be so much better. So the first step is to read the problem, obviously. Okay? It says to do what? Find what? The area of what? The rectangle. Okay? Write what? Your answer in simplest form. Okay? Be sure to include the correct unit. Okay? Those are your directions. Sometimes I circle the verb because it helps focus what they're actually asking for. So we're going to multiply this, okay? The reason why. Ready? Actually, I don't want to put it that low. I want to put it a little higher. Okay? Area equals length times width. That is the formula for the rectangle, area of a rectangle. So this is what we're looking for. So that means we must know the length and the width. The length, in this case, it doesn't matter which one you choose. I typically pick the one that's laying on the ground times 5/12. Multiply across. When you multiply fractions, you literally just multiply across. So it is 5/24. And that's almost done, except remember, we found the area. It's in its simplest form. We can't reduce it, but we need to put feet. What? Feet squared. Or sometimes we write it like this, square feet. Okay? And that's your answer. Next. Area of a rectangle involving mixed numbers and fractions. Okay? What are we going to do? We are going to find what? The area of what? The following square. So we have a square. A square is unique in that all sides are equal. The area of a square is still length times width, but sometimes you will see it as side squared because that means side times side. I think it's easier just to tackle it like that. So that's how I am. I'm going to write area equals length times width because a square is a rectangle. And I'm going to go area equals 1 4/5 times 1 4/5. That's not 1 4/5. That's 1 1/4. Let's try that again. Okay. And to multiply these, we need to change them to an improper fraction. So 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9/5 times 9/5, which area is equal to 81/25. Don't forget, it says write your answer in simplest form. Can't reduce it any further. Include the correct unit. This is centimeters, so it's going to be centimeters times centimeters. Side times side. See it? cm times cm is cm squared. Next. All right. In this kind of problem, they're called piecewise because you have to cut them into pieces. That's a real logical line to draw. And all you have to do is figure out what the area is of this rectangle and then add it to the area of that rectangle. So the red rectangle, well, I colored it red. Okay, I'm actually going to write this in words. If you want to think about it this way, it's the area, area of the large rectangle plus area of the small rectangle. What's the formula for the area of a large? Length times width. What's the formula for area of the small? Length times width. All the total area is going to be these added together. Length times width of the large is going to be, first of all, 5. What's the length? Okay, here's how you figure out the length. You walk from here to there. Okay, let's walk. We're like walking at a park. We're like do. Oh, I walked 2 centimeters. How far did I walk now? 3 more. So I've walked 5, 2 more, 7. So this is 7 centimeters. So we're going to go 7 times 5 plus, and the little guy is 3 times 2. Area is equal to 12 plus 6. Area is equal to 18. Okay, we need to put units. Centimeters squared. Area is always squared. Area talks about how many squares fit. All right, this one is now talking about areas between two rectangles. So let's read it. Okay. It says a rectangular yard measuring 34 by 44. I honestly begin my problem by drawing this. 34, 44. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but I put it down because that's what it said. It's surrounded by a fence. Inside, a walk that is 4 feet wide goes all the way along. So here we go. They made a walkway, and this walkway is 4 feet here, and it's 4 feet this way. Okay. It says find the area of this walk. Now you could sit here and cut this into rectangles and try to figure things out, but don't bother. Okay. The easiest way to do this is to again think about subtraction. The area of the walkway. Think about this as if you were how would you create this shape? If I asked you to create this shape with paper and I gave you a scissors, what would you do? Think about that for a second. What would you do? That's a hole, okay? Because we're not finding the center part. We're only finding the edge. You'd probably take the big piece of paper and then cut out the inside rectangle. And that's what we're going to do. The area of the walk is going to be the large rectangle. Subtract the area of the small rectangle. Okay, so now we need to figure out length and width. And this is where you need to think about yourself in the picture. When you're having a hard time understanding a problem, put yourself in the picture. Pretend this is your yard. Pretend here you are climbing on the fence and you're walking on it. And you ask yourself, okay, how far is what is the length? The length of this, okay, let's go ahead and write the formula stuff. Length times width minus length times width. Agreed? Okay, so that's 44 times 34. That's the area of the large. Now, what's the area of the small? Well, we don't know the length of these guys, but we can figure it out. We know this side is 34. And we know that these little ones are 4. Okay? So if this is 34, and we're cutting off 4 here, and 4 more here, that's going to be 34 minus 8. So that is going to be 26. And in the same way on this side, we know that this whole side is 44. And we know this is 4 and this is 4. So this side means we are going to be, instead of walking along this whole way, we don't have to walk 4 here and we don't have to walk 4 here in this small. Okay, so that's going to be 44 minus 8, 44. Let's see, 44 minus 8, I'll do it down here, which is 36. And this was 26, yeah? 36. All right, so now we're going to go 26 times 36, and then you continue to the end to solve that problem. Now it's easy. Next one. Again, area. It says find what? The area of what? The triangle. Be sure to include the correct unit. Okay? Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. We're finding area, so we need the base. The base is the bottom where the right angle is. See the height right here? Okay? The base is always going to be the part that you could, basically, that if you lay it down, that right angle would be that way. Okay? So the base is 17. The height is 4, and we're going to divide that by 2. Okay, and that's going to be 17 times 4, or you could also reduce it like this. It's going to be 34. You can multiply it and divide, that's fine. Don't forget your units, centimeters squared. Okay, moving on. Okay, now we're doing area involving rectangles and triangles. So take a look. I always like to go back to the paper analogy. It's like, how would you create the shape? You would start with a rectangle and you would cut out the triangle. I'd have to cut this out with scissors, right? See if I can draw a little scissors. Okay. That's my scissors, all right? We'd cut that out. All right, so we're going to start with the concept, which is that, and then we're going to go to the formulas. What's the formula for the area of a rectangle? Length times width. What's the formula for the triangle? Base times height. Whoa, that is a weird looking H. Divided by 2. Length times width. The length is 8. The width is 5. Or vice versa, it doesn't matter. Base times height. Base times height. It actually, with the right triangle, think about it. Both of them you could lay it like this, or you could lay it like that, but it's still going to be the same triangle area. It's just the way you put it. So the most important thing is that this is the hypotenuse, and we're not using it right now. Okay, base times height is 3 times 4 divided by 2. So area equals 40 minus 12 divided by 2, or area equals 40 minus 6, or, 34. Don't forget your units, okay? It says, I'm sorry, you know what? I didn't even read this because I'm so used to these problems, but include the correct unit. Centimeters squared. Moving on. This is a parallelogram, okay? It says find the area. The area of a parallelogram is base times height. Okay, believe it or not, because imagine that you could cut off this piece. Look at this piece right here. Imagine if you could cut it off right there, and you would put it right here. Look, where it would fit. It would fit right in here, and you would have a rectangle. I'm going to block this. Nope, that won't work. Stop that. And you would have I know what I'll do. I'll stick a sticky there. There. Boom. Oh, it won't let me do that. Here, I'll put a J. Okay, ready? Let's see if this works. Okay, there. It didn't really work. I'm trying to get you to not see the triangle. But you take a look. You could put it there and you see that it's really a rectangle. Okay, base times height. So the question is, oops, sorry about that. Boom. Whoa. There we go. So the question is, what's the base? The base is where, see how they've measured the height? Okay. They've measured the height right here with that right angle, that perpendicular. Okay. So the height is going to be 6. The side that it touches is the base. And the opposite sides in a parallelogram are the same. So the base is going to be 12. So area equals 72 yards squared. Okay. Next. Again, formula, substitution, resolution. The area of a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 divided by, let me try that again. It's base 1 plus base 2 times h divided by 2. Then all you have to do is identify all the pieces parts. The two bases don't matter, they're parallel. Doesn't matter which one you put in for which. Let's put 3 plus 11 times the height, which is this one, divided by 2. Now they gave you that extra measurement, probably just to see if you know what you're doing. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right, area is equal to 3 plus 11 is 14 times 4 divided by 2. And if you were to solve that, that would be 28 centimeters squared. And that's your answer. And that's the end of your second video. I'm talking a little fast. You guys have the area. You have the option of slowing the video down or speeding it up on YouTube. I know you do, because I do. All right. Have a good night.